Hi, in this video we are going to talk about joins in SQL. When we learned normalization, we saw that we need to split the data across multiple tables so that we have minimum redundancy. And why do we want to minimize the redundancy? Because we do not want to have those anomalies, insert, delete and update anomalies. So we need normalization, and normalization means we split the data across multiple tables. When you split the data across multiple tables, it might happen that you need data from multiple tables together. For example, if you look at these tables, one is employee table and one is department table. In the employee table, we have employee name and department ID. In the department table, we have department ID and department name. If I ask you to give me name of a department ID, of a given department ID, you just need to query this particular table. But if I ask you to do this, give me employee names and their department names, then you need to join these two tables. You need to go through both the tables and find all the employees and their department names. For that, you need an operation called join. Now let us talk about different types of joins. Before I go in detail, let me just do a quick overview of these joins so that you get an idea. Cross product is simply cross product of both the tables. For example, this is employee table and this is department table. Cross product is going to have 4 into 3, 12 rows. Inner join is a join where we take only the attributes of both the tables which satisfy a given constraint. For example, I want to find all the employees and their department name. So my constraint would be department ID of employee table should be equal to department ID of department table. So this is a kind of inner join where we have a simple constraint and we put only those rows from the cross product which satisfy the constraint. That's the inner join. Equi-join is a type of inner join, is a special case of inner join when you are using equal operator for comparison. So my previous inner join that I just discussed, that department ID equal to this department ID, that's an inner join, and that's an equi-join also because we are using an equal operator to do the join. Natural join is again a special case of equi-join where you are doing join on the columns which have same names. So department ID and department ID, they both have the same names. So your natural join will automatically compare these columns and give you the join of two tables where these two columns have the same value. So this is also an inner join. If you had multiple common columns, then this natural join will compare all the individual multiple values. Next one is outer join. Outer join is three types: left outer, right outer and full join. So when you are doing left outer join, say your left table is employee and right table is department, your left outer join will have all rows of this left side table and will have only those entries of the right side table which match with the left side. So there will be 4 rows for sure, and for the entries of this table which do not match the right table, they will be null. We'll see an example. Right outer join is opposite of the left outer join. It will have all the rows of the right table and it will fill in the non-matching rows of employee table. Full outer join is a union of left outer join and right outer join. Self join is a special case of join when you want to join the table with itself. So there is only one table and you are joining the table to itself, then you call it self join. Let us now talk about the first join, which is cross join. So cross join is nothing but cross product of both the tables. So if I have two tables and if I do a cross join, I can do a cross join by simply writing both table names after from and then without any condition, right? So if you do not put any condition, it means you want to do a cross join. Another syntax which might not be allowed in all the database management servers is to use the cross join keyword. So what happens with this cross join query? You get 4 rows of the first table, and you get first row of the second table corresponding to every row of the first table. So you have 4 rows of the first table, and corresponding to 4 rows you have 1 row of the second table. This 1 row of the second table. Now you have 4 rows of the first table again, right? All 4 rows again. And then you have next row of the second table, sales. Now you have 4 rows of the first table third time, because you have 3 rows in the department. That is why you have 4 rows 3 times. So you have total 4 into 3, 12 rows. So this is what cross product is. Let us now talk about inner join. Inner join is a join where you have some condition and you have this inner join keyword. What it means is only the rows which strictly match this condition should be there in the output. So we can see inner join as this way. We write the cross product or cross join of both the tables. There were 12 rows that we wrote earlier, and then we remove all those rows which do not satisfy this condition, right? So out of those 12 rows, if we cross everything, then we'll see that only these 3 rows satisfy this condition. So we consider all 12 rows of the cross product, then we use this condition to filter out the results which should not be there in the output. That's one way of looking at the inner join. All the rows that strictly follow the given condition. There are 2 ways to write inner join. It's more recommended way. It's always recommended to use the proper join keyword rather than using this implicit SQL syntax where we just put 2 table names and just put a where condition. This produces the same result as the above query, but this is more recommended, more readable here. So when you say inner join keyword, and if you put a condition, that makes it an inner join. Internally, your database management systems, they do not do this, that they first do a cross join and then filter out all the entries. They do some efficient implementations like sorted merge or hashing or something similar, which does join faster than first finding the cross product and then filtering out the results. We can also understand inner join using set theory. We can draw the Venn diagram of 2 tables, say tables A and B, and we can say whatever is common between these 2 tables is our inner join. What do we mean by common? The section of both the tables that follow the constraint that we have specified here, right? So if there was a constraint with more conditions like and if was not equal to, all those entries which strictly satisfy these constraints in both the tables are part of inner join. The next join is equi-join. This is also a special inner join. Here, the only thing is this constraint has to be always equal operator. So if you are using smaller than, greater than, not equal to, or smaller than equal to, those inner joins are not equi-joins. This particular inner join that we just used is an actually equi-join because we used equal operator, right? So the syntax, the result, everything same as the inner join because it was already using an equal to operator. If we were using smaller than or greater than operator, then we cannot consider it as an equi-join. So this is an equi-join operator example. Some database management system servers, they also provide a special syntax for equi-join. They say that you can use department ID. So that's another way of doing equi-join. It might not be allowed in some database management servers like SQL Server or Sybase. So this works as an equi-join. The next join is natural join. Please remember, equi-join is a special case of inner join and natural join is a special case of equi-join. Therefore, natural join is also a special case of inner join. What do we mean by natural join? Natural join happens in 2 tables when they have one or more same column names for some attributes. For example, here these two tables have DEPT underscore ID and DEPT underscore ID, same column name in both the tables. So when you use natural join keyword, your join operation automatically scans through all the column names, finds out the common column names, and puts this inner join condition, equi-join condition to be more precise, for the common column names. So this is equivalent to writing the previous query that we wrote, inner join department on employee.deptid equal to department.deptid. So there are problems with this natural join. The problem is, suppose your database designer later changes this column name to name. What will happen in this case? This natural join, which was earlier returning these three rows, will now not return any row, because what will happen? It will compare both the attributes. It will compare name with name, department ID with department ID, because name is also changed now to department, name is also changed now to name. So this natural join is why not recommended by many database standard practices, because it assumes that column names have to be same and on the attributes on which you want to do the join, and later column names may change. Somebody may change this column name to department ID to something else rather than changing this also. So that would also make the natural join fail. Please note that if there are no common column names in both the tables, then your natural join produces the result same as cross product or cross join. So far we have talked about inner joins. Let us now talk about first outer join. We are going to talk about left outer join. So this is the syntax for left outer join. We write the first table name and then we write the left outer join keyword, and then we write department, the other table name, right table name or second table name. If you compare the result with the previous query, we have one extra row here. This row corresponds to the row of first table which does not match with any department. So you have BCD null also in the result and null for the department. Suppose there was one more row with EFG and department ID as 5 is not there. So in that case, EFG will also come with department ID 5 and these two as null. So the idea of left outer join is to have all the rows of the first table, the left table, all rows of left table come in the result, and those rows that match with the rows of the second table or right table have the matching entries of the right table. If they do not match, then they have null in the right table columns. If we understand left outer join with the help of Venn diagram, we can say that you have two tables and you print all the rows which follow the given constraint. So all these rows follow the given constraint. Together with these rows, you also print all the rows of table A which do not even follow the constraint. So you print all the rows of A, which include the rows which follow the constraint and rows which do not follow the constraint. And in the right part, you have only non-null values in the rows that follow the constraint in the right table. So you have partial right table and full left table. Let us now talk about right outer join, the next outer join. So this outer join is kind of opposite of left outer join. We have all the rows of the right table or second table. Here right table is department, right? So we have all the rows of the department table and we have matching rows of the employee table. Let's see. we have all the matching rows, all the rows that fall in this part that follow the constraint, and then we have remaining rows of the department table. So remaining row is 2 sales because 2 is not here in this table. So we'll have 2 sales and null in the left table. So we have all the rows of the table B, and then we have matching rows of the table A. That's what right outer join is. Let us now talk about full outer join. So full outer join has the attributes which satisfy the constraint, which are the intersection part, and all the remaining attributes of table A and all the remaining attributes of table B. So that is what I have written as a result. You have these 3 attributes that follow the constraint, then you have remaining attributes of table A, then you have remaining attributes of table B. So when you put remaining attributes of table A, you put null in the table B part. When you put remaining attributes of table B, you put null in the table A part. The syntax for full outer join is to use this full outer join to do the join of 2 tables, and rest of the syntax is similar or same to other joins. So if you see the Venn diagram, it has everything, right? It has the intersection part, remaining part of table A and remaining part of table B. MySQL and maybe some other databases, they do not provide this full outer join syntax. In those databases, we can implement full outer join using union or union all. A simple union query would be write down the query for left outer join that we just wrote, then use the union keyword, then write down the query for right outer join that we wrote. The problem with this simple union would be it will work, will produce the same result, but it is not efficient because it's going to have many common attributes, and union although takes care of those common attributes, but it has some extra. We can optimize this query also by writing some clever way, writing the left outer join query first and then doing the union all so that there are no duplicates, and then write the second query in a way that it does not have duplicates. So we can use inner join and more complex syntax to write the remaining query. So one simple way to implement full outer join in databases that do not support full outer join is to use union keyword, because union handles duplicates and remove duplicates. We just write the left outer join query, then we write the right outer join query. We end up having duplicates because whatever was there in the inner join, that will come in both the results. So union removes those duplicates and we get the same result as full outer join. But this is not an efficient way because first we are generating duplicates and then we are doing a union. We can optimize it by writing this query as it is, then union all, so that we tell the MySQL that there are not going to be any duplicates, just print all the values, and then writing the right part cleverly so that it does not contain anything which is part of inner join. That's another way of writing the full outer join. Let us now talk about the next join, which is self join. Self join is a join where you perform join on the table itself. Your left and right, both tables are same. Self join can be an inner join or it can be an outer join. Let's understand the example of self join with this query. We are given this employee table, the same employee table that we have been using, and we want to print all those department IDs that have more than 1 employees. So there is one interesting way to solve this problem using self joins. What we do is we join this table with itself. We call the 2 instances as E1 and E2. Now, once you have 2 instances, you consider those rows which have same department ID in both the instances, but employee names are not same. So if you consider the cross product of this table with itself, you will have 4 into 4, 16 rows. Out of those 16 rows, you will reject all those rows where department IDs are not same. You will again reject those rows as well where employee names are same. So you will end up having only those rows with have the same department ID in both the tables, but employee names are different. So that is how you get the department IDs which have at least 2 employees, because department IDs would be different only when you have more than 1 employees in this department. One employee will come in this side and the other employee will come in this side. So that is how you can get all the department IDs which have more than 1 employees. So what we have done here is we have printed E1.department ID. We can print E2.department ID also, because we will have the same department IDs in the results. We are using inner join, and we have 2 conditions here. Department IDs should be same and names should be different. So it will print all the department IDs which have more than 1 employees. It might print some duplicates. So what we do to handle duplicates, we can use distinct here, distinct E1.department IDs. So that is how we use self join to print all the department IDs that have more than 1 employees. In this video, we talked about all the joins. We talked about inner join, which is intersection of 2 sets. Then we talked about left outer join, which is intersection plus remaining rows of the left table. Then we talked about right outer join, which is intersection and remaining rows of the right table. Then we talked about full outer join, which is intersection plus remaining rows of the left table plus remaining rows of the right table. Then we talked about self join, which is a join on the table itself. So you have one table joining to itself. We also talked about special cases of inner join, which are equi-join and natural joins. We also talked about special cases of inner join, which are equi-join and natural join. Equi-join is a join when we have equal operator to be used only in the join operation. So this is not an equi-join, because here you have not equal to operator as well. This smaller than and greater than works as a not equal to in SQL. So this is not an equi-join. Then we talked about natural join. Natural join is a special case of equi-join where you do not specify this where clause. Your database management server, it automatically finds out the common column names and does put this where clause automatically, right? Natural join is sometimes not considered good because column names might change. So that is all about all the joins.